Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the EnRoute, which is a 23-liter tech and everyday bag from Thule. And over the years, I've been super impressed with the variety of backpacks that Thule has in their arsenal. We've taken a look at many of their daily bags. They have travel backpacks, just a lot of awesome gear. They always provide a good mix of features and quality for the price point that they come in at. And there were a few things about the aesthetic and the organizational layout about the EnRoute that caught my eye. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience using this in the real world over the past couple of weeks, how I've loaded it out, and also how it compares to some of the other popular tech bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, I really like the overall aesthetic. The look here definitely reminds me of a lot of Thule's other bags, so it has a very modern and techy vibe. And this one has some extra pocketing and attachment points that give it a slightly more technical feel in my opinion, but it's still minimal enough to work great in a ton of different environments, whether you're going into the outdoors, walking around the city, or taking this into the office. The bag is offered in a few different colors. The version that I have here is the black version, but you can check out some of the other options that they have on the company's site. And moving into the materials, on the exterior you have a blend of 600D polyester and a 330D ripstop nylon, which feels like it's going to hold up well to rougher usage and offer a nice amount of weather resistance while also keeping the weight pretty reasonable on the bag. On top of that, you have some very nice YKK zippers all throughout that have worked very smoothly. And continuing along the outside of the bag, on the front, you have the traditional Thule logo, which I know is a sticking point for some people that love the clean aesthetics of their bag. And then you have the high contrast white logo on the front. So, I don't really mind it that much. It's still, a minimal enough aesthetic, but it would be nice if maybe there was a matte black option to kind of blend a little bit more into the bag. On the outside, you also have some hidden attachment points here. On the inside of this flap, you have some webbing that's going to be a great spot to attach something with a carabiner. So I have one of these Night Eyes S carabiners, but you could also use something like a Hero clip. And so I really love the versatility that's added by these, but then that they're also hidden to keep a cleaner overall look. You also have a little loop here at the bottom that you can use to attach something like a bike light. And then on the outside, I was very happy to see that you have two zippered compartments that can work as external water bottle pockets. So they have these zippers that open up all the way down to the bottom, and then the compartment is gusseted to give you this area to place an actual water bottle or an umbrella. And so I was able to fit the same 20-ounce water bottle that you've seen in a lot of my other daily bag videos. Once the compartment is open, it expands out to allow you to fit that in there. It also has a pretty good depth, so if you have something a little bit taller, it won't necessarily fall over. And this does, even though this expands out, take up a little bit of room in the main compartment. So that's something that you want to keep in mind, particularly with like a really thick water bottle. I think, anything thicker than this 20 ounce that I have here is going to be a little bit uncomfortable to put on the inside. I was also a little bit, sad that you can't quite close the zipper with the water bottle in. That might have been nice to have that extra space, but it works well as a water bottle pocket. And I love that you can actually zip these up to give it extra functionality. So on the other side, I actually just used it to store some extra accessories that I didn't have space for inside the main area. So I threw in a deck of cards that I like to have with me. And then I also tossed in a little Band-Aid kit from Pete's Pirate Life. So again, just love the added versatility. You could also use this maybe for a laptop charger, a jacket, or just anything that you need to grab a little bit more quickly during the day. And then at the top of the bag, you have a pretty nice handle that sits flush against the top, almost too flush. It doesn't have a lot of elasticity, so you really kind of have to get your fingers under there to be able to grab it, and there's not a whole lot of give. The handle does feel durable. It has this kind of a webbing material, but it's not that well padded, and I could see this, starting to dig into your fingers a little bit if you were holding the bag by the handle for a longer period of time, but regardless, it feels durable. I like that this was included. And then taking a look at the capacity, the bag comes in at about 23 liters, which to me is a really great daily bag size. I was able to hold the items that I normally like to carry with me, and the bag maintains a really slim profile even when it's a little bit more packed out, which makes it great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying on to most domestic and international airlines. And then moving into the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. I like how the straps have been implemented here. They have this kind of gel-like padding that's soft and pretty thick on the inside. The material that's used here feels like it's a little bit breathable. It's not as breathable as some of the mesh that we see in other bags that I really like, but so far I haven't noticed any moisture building up. And then these straps have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. On the straps, you also have an adjustable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. And I really like how many strap keepers are included with the bag to also just kind of keep everything in place and maintain a neater overall look. As far as the back paneling, this has also been really comfortable. I love the amount of padding that's included here. It's soft, it feels great. And I really like the mesh that's been used on the back paneling. I wish this was included on these straps as well, as it's much more breathable in my opinion. And then you also have a good elevation on the padding and plenty of air channels to create ventilation and airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag has some really great pocketing all throughout. Starting off on the front, you have a taller, quick access compartment, and I like that the zipper is a little bit more hidden under this flap to protect against the elements. So opening this up, you have a good amount of space, especially for taller and flatter items. What I currently have in here is my GoRuck Wire Dot Mini, which has some of the dongles and other small accessories I like to have with me. And then I also tossed in my BluePop portable Bluetooth speaker and power bank. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot of internal organization here. No key clips or other slip pockets, which might have been nice to see given how tall this compartment is. But I really like that it provides you with enough volume to actually be usable and will work great for anything that you need to grab quickly while you're on the go. Moving up along the front, you have another quick access pocket that is going to be great for more sensitive items. On the inside, it has a soft lining to help prevent against scratching. What I currently tossed in here is just a lightning cable and power brick for charging my tablet and my phone. This would also be a spot where I would typically toss in my Apple Magic Mouse. And so this is going to be a little bit of a tighter fit depending on how you have the rest of the pockets packed out. So not necessarily great for bulkier items, but for the items that I currently carry, or even for tossing in my phone while going through TSA, this is going to be super useful. And then at the top of the bag, you have Thule's kind of classic safe zone pocket, which has a hard shell to prevent anything in this area from getting crushed. So opening this up, I did struggle a little bit to open this compartment as the shell kind of gets in the way a little bit with the zipper, so that annoyed me a little bit. But it does provide some good protection for the types of items that you might normally have to take a little bit more care of while you're running around during the day. So in this compartment, I typically store my sunglasses. I actually still like to have a case with me, even though it's kind of unnecessary with this type of compartment, especially on the inside. You can see that it has a softer lining to, again, help prevent against scratching. So you could just place your normal sunglasses in here, which I think is one of the main use cases for this type of compartment. I also tossed in my Apple AirPods Pro. And then on the inside, you have a divider for anything smaller that you want to keep separate from the other items. So in my case, I just tossed in my Gerber Dime multi-tool, but this would also be a good spot to maybe toss your keys. So nice implementation here. I didn't see if this area was removable. That's something that Thule had included with their other bags, was the ability to actually take this rigid plate out. And I don't believe that you can do that here. So I'm not crazy about that. I feel like the rigidity added by this compartment is sometimes unnecessary. I prefer to have a little bit more flexibility as it's just easier to store stuff. So if you like this compartment, then that won't be a big deal. But if on other Thule bags, you like the ability to remove this harder shell to give you more flexibility, that's not going to be present with this particular version. And then the last area that we're going to be taking a look at is the main compartment. And this has this sort of L or J opening type zipper that's not quite a full clamshell, but it does open up wide enough to give you more visibility into the main area. And so again, 23 liters of capacity in this bag, although it did feel a little bit tighter than other similarly sized bags. And I think that's due to the amount of pockets and organization. In addition to the slimness of the bag, it's not going to be great for holding bulkier items. I was able to squeeze these Beats headphones in here with their case, but it didn't leave much room for a lot of other stuff. So without the headphones, I would have had some extra space to put maybe a lunchbox or a jacket. But again, just due to the amount of stuff contained throughout the entire bag, it didn't leave as much space as I would have expected to see for this size of bag in the main area. Regardless, I was able to hold the items that I normally carry with me. So I also have my Tom Bin HLT pouch, which has a lot of the accessories that I normally need to have with me. I also have a full-size moleskin notebook, and then I threw in my Levitate portable standing desk, which fit in there pretty comfortably. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside, and one of the first things that stood out to me about this bag in particular compared to other Thule bags is that it doesn't have the really bright blue interior that is kind of a fixture of their bags. I'd seen it in so many other ones, and I liked the high contrast nature of that blue lining. This one, is a darker gray. It provides a little bit of contrast against the black, but it's not as easy to see into the bag as some of their other options that have that blue lining. Also, this style of compartment is interesting. I like that it has this gusset, so if you have it standing up and you're trying to reach something from the bottom of the bag, everything isn't just gonna fly out accidentally. But I do sort of wish that they would have just gone with maybe a full clamshell style. It feels like it could have been done without impacting the water bottle pockets, and would have made loading the bag just a little bit easier. That's my own personal preference. This still works pretty well. If I wanted to toss in maybe a smaller packing cube to use this for an overnight or shorter weekend trip, I could probably get away with that, and there just wouldn't be a lot of leftover space for other items. So still a pretty simple layout overall. On the flap, you have one mesh zippered compartment, which is nice to have for some just separation of everything in this larger compartment. It has a durable feeling mesh. You can see what's on the inside. I didn't place much as everything started to kind of bulk up a little bit, so the only thing that I placed in here is just this manicure kit that I like to have with me on my day-to-day. And then at the top, you can get a look at that safe zone compartment and see just kind of how much space it takes up in this area. And then on the back of this compartment, you have a sleeve for your tablet. So I currently have a iPad mini here, which fits comfortably, but this would be able to hold a 10 or 11-inch tablet. And this is a little bit suspended off the bottom of the ground, so you do have that protection on the sleeve, but not a whole lot of padding. It might have been nice to have this be just a little bit thicker for a tablet item to give you that protection. And then behind that, you have a well-padded laptop sleeve. This is actually quite thick. I wish this sort of padding had been included for the tablet, but on the laptop area, good to see that. Definitely feels like this is gonna keep your device protected from any bumps that you might have. It's pulled away from the sides of the bag. You have protection going all the way around. Unfortunately, the sleeve isn't actually suspended from the bottom of the ground, but it does have some padding to help give you that peace of mind if you place the bag down a little bit harder. However, I still would have preferred to see it pulled up a little bit, as I feel like they've done in other Thule bags. This is going to be able to hold up to a 16-inch laptop pretty comfortably. Currently, I have my 13-inch MacBook Pro. You can see that it kind of gets swallowed by the compartment. So taking my device out. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. And so no fleece lining here to help prevent against scratching, but the compartment does come up a decent amount. So if you happen to have a thicker device, should be able to fit in here okay. And overall, even though it's not suspended, it does feel like my device is going to be well protected throughout the day. I like the simpler organizational layout that's been provided here and how many pockets are offered on the exterior of the bag. It has a really nice layout. I like the aesthetic, and if you're looking for a durable and comfortable tech and EDC bag that comes in at a reasonable price, then this is going to be a great option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Thule EnRoute over the past couple of weeks, and you can currently purchase this on Amazon or Thule's site for about $100. I was able to snag this one at $85. I've seen the price jump around a little bit depending on the specific color that you're trying to get, but even at that $100 price point, this feels like a reasonable price considering the features and build quality that the bag has to offer, and it also compares well to other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, one of the first bags this made me think of is the Osprey Arcane Day Pack, which we looked at recently. That one also had a similar layout as far as having kind of that L-shaped opening, a simple aesthetic. It had a nice organizational layout, not quite as many pockets as this one here. It had a little bit more of a minimal vibe as well if you don't like the techie aesthetic. It's comfortable to wear, so if you're looking for a solid and simple EDC bag in a similar size, then that's gonna be a fantastic option to check out. The next bag this made me think of is the Timbuk2 Authority Pack, which we've looked at on the channel, both the deluxe versions and the regular version. And that's gonna be maybe a little bit more expensive, especially if you go for the deluxe version, but it does a great job of offering a solid build quality. It has a lot of organizational options, great protection for your tech. Timbuk2's bags always hold up well. And it's also gonna be a little bit more comfortable in my opinion. So if you have a slightly higher budget or you need some extra capacity, then that's gonna be a fantastic option to keep in mind. Another bag this made me think of is the Evergood CHZ22, which is a really great minimal everyday bag. It has a fantastic build quality, a comfortable harness system. That one has more of an outdoorsy and minimal vibe as opposed to the techie aesthetic that this one has. It offers fantastic external water bottle pockets, a suspended and padded laptop sleeve. It's not gonna have all the pockets that this one has, definitely a much simpler layout, but that also allows it to hold a little bit more stuff in my opinion. So if you're looking for a bag that's this size, but that's gonna be simpler and offer some extra kind of flexibility with what you can actually put into it, then that's gonna be another good option to keep in mind. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Bellroy Transit Work Pack, which to me has kind of a similar vibe to this. It's a modern, minimal, sleek backpack that's gonna work great for the office. That one has one of my favorite organizational layouts. I love that it has a clamshell style opening, a very well protected and suspended laptop sleeve. It's gonna be able to hold a little bit more than this, even though it's technically smaller as far as the dimensions. That one comes in at about 20 to 22 liters. But that clamshell opening really allows you to hold a ton of stuff. It offers just the right amount of pocketing. The external water bottle pockets on that one are gonna be a little bit tighter. It doesn't have the same style. It has those kind of side hidden compartments that still work well for a smaller water bottle or other accessories. And as far as the harness system, they're both pretty close. This one might be slightly more comfortable in my opinion, but as far as the versatility and the organizational layout of the Transit Work Pack, if you prefer a clamshell style bag but need something durable and stylish, then that's gonna be a great option to take a look at. With that being said, the Thule EnRoute holds up really well against all those bags, and if you're looking for a comfortable and durable work and everyday bag that's gonna offer a ton of organization and protection for your tech, and also comes in at a reasonable price point, then this is gonna be a really good option to check out. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think of the EnRoute, and also if you've had experience with other Thule bags in the past, or you have suggestions for some of their bags that you think that I should feature on the channel. As always, please let me know in the comments. And I wanna thank you for watching and supporting the channel. And if you found this video helpful, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.